just before you click on this video, basically in this video, I was just discussing with my mate, who's a Manchester United fan. I thought it's a good idea just to go through some of the Liverpool signings and get his thoughts on it. This was part of the Liverpool Manchester United preview. This was a longer section than I was expecting, so I thought let's just make one video for this, and you'll be able to see in this video basically my thoughts on the signings, his thoughts on the signings, a bit more of a neutral. Do we agree? Do we disagree? And have they been good enough so far? If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Because there is no denying the media have let Liverpool off with their signings. Wirtz for 120 mil need to be playing better. When Pogba was at United, cost 100 mil, got 4 assists in one game, the media was saying that's to be expected from 100 mil player. Wirtz cost 120 mil. He's come into a champions of the Prem Liverpool team, and the stats they're showing on Sky Sport are forward runs off the ball, stats unrelated to touching the football. It's just, I get he's been alright, and some fans are saying he's been worse than he is, but nowhere near the media scrutiny that any player from United would have that costs a similar price.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that, the other signings? So, for example, the two fullbacks, Kerkez and Frimpong, who just haven't quite worked out in our system so far at all.
I said at the start of the season, those are two very attacking-minded players. Frimpong is borderline a winger. He's been playing on the wing for the Dutch. Kerkez at Bournemouth was just getting forward. He loves to be in the space to just whip a ball in, so he loves to get forward. And I think the problem is you have so many attacking players in your system at the moment that you're starting to get caught out a bit defensively. Van Dijk is holding up really well. The earlier games in the seasons, your performances haven't been convincing, but you've been brought. The results have come through because Van Dijk's defending, Alisson's goalkeeping have just saved you. Now Alisson's gone. He's injured for a bit. You've got Mamardashvili, who's a decent keeper, but nowhere near Alisson. The results have fallen off. You're starting to drop points really easily. It's worrying.
So then what are your thoughts on the other signings we made? Obviously, we made the signing of Isak and Ekitike. What do you actually think that's going to bring to Liverpool? And do you think it's going to work in the future and for this game?
I mean, it's completely different to what you had last season. You didn't have an out-and-out number 9, really. You could argue Núñez was that for some part, but
never played.
He's not the same kind of number 9 Ekitike or Isak are, where they're just straight-out Premier League number 9s. Ekitike, I will give him his flowers. He's been good. He's been really good.
Excellent.
I thought for the price tag, I don't watch the Bundesliga, but I thought for the price tag, him coming in, I thought that was a bit excessive, but he's proven me wrong. He's hit the ground running. He's doing good. The red card in the cup was something. That happens. I can't clown him too much because Ahmad did a similar thing against Liverpool.
That's a bit different though, because one's against Southampton, one's against United. One's against us.
The stakes are different, but...
And that game eventually wins you the FA Cup. Like, if you don't go through, you don't win an FA Cup. That's absolutely massive.
That is true, yes. But, yeah. I've been impressed by Ekitike. He's looking like a good player. But
Isak?
I think you would have been better if you didn't sign Isak and got Gehi.
Okay.
And maybe a cheaper striker to go behind Ekitike. I think Ekitike should be getting more minutes than he's getting at the moment. Because you have to play Isak. You can't sign a player for that much money and not play him.
I do see what you mean with maybe we stop Ekitike's development and his ability to play in the first team with Isak coming in. But I feel like when you get the opportunity to sign such a world-class striker, it's so hard to sort of say no, because this sort of striker might not be on the market for another 5 or 6 years if Isak's not available another time, because a Real Madrid, a PSG might decide they need that sort of player. And we didn't have any cover. And as you said, we could have signed maybe a younger one. But I was worried, what happens if Ekitike sort of drops off? What happens if he gets injured? I don't want to be relying on a young striker. Maybe it would have been like a Nick Voltemade, who looks like he's done very well. Maybe that was an option. Maybe a John-Philippe Mateta. Maybe that was another alternative. But I do still think we were better off signing the 2 strikers. And I also think, as I'm going to allude to, in my lineup, I'd actually probably potentially play both of them in the same team. And I'm going to show you how that would work later. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I feel the place where you're lacking the most depth at the moment is centre back, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You've got Van Dijk, who obviously it's Van Dijk, you know.
But if he
as
goes
much
down,
as I hate that guy,
yeah,
you can't deny he's
unbelievable player.
He's pretty decent at football. He knows how to kick a football.
True. And
next to me, you've got Konate in the last year of his deal. Madrid sniffing around. We know how this goes.
Yes.
You know how this goes.
Yes, I'm fully aware, and
yes,
we may well lose Gahey to them as well.
Yes, but you've then got Gomez, who he's an alright option, but you don't want to be starting him.
He's also just too injury prone. It's that simple.
And then you've got Leone, who got an ACL.
I mean, that did happen after, but yes.
Yeah, but
I think where I disagree is it wouldn't have been Gahey or Isak. It would have been both. The Gahey deal only ever falls through because we just couldn't, because Palace basically couldn't sign a player in time.
I understand that, but I feel like you got your priorities in the wrong order.
Okay.
I feel like you should have gone for, once you'd got Ekitike, you go for Gahey, and then Isak. Once you got Ekitike, it was like a week later than Isak said, actually, I want to leave.
Okay.
So you should have gone for Gahey hard, got that secured, and then see what you can do for Isak.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like Newcastle were going to sell.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was always saying. I do see what you mean in terms of the priority, but we're very good at sort of selling and buying, I think, for decent deals. Like, we left the Isak deal very late, and we sort of got a 20 million cut on what probably the fee would have been if we went in earlier. If you look at the Gahey deal, it was going to go down by £10 million, and this is something that I think Manchester United could improve on. And look, leaving it late doesn't always work, as we've seen, but often it does save you those pennies, which could be useful in the future. We're also very good at selling. We got Diaz for 60 million, and that is a lot of money for a player who's 29. And look, that's a massive loss. I think we've lost his press this summer. I think we've lost a very high quality player, but 60 million for a 29-year-old is very good, as that allowed us to bring in a player like Hugo Ekitike. Do you agree with that, or?
That's right. I'll just bring it back to the game at hand that we're having. Yeah. I think these signings need to prove themselves.
Okay.
Ekitike it's fine if he probably might not even start, arguably.
I would, but I don't think he will.
Yeah, there's a decent chance Isak starts over.
We are going to discuss that.
But your signings need to prove themselves. You need to prove themselves to the fans, get the fans behind them, and this is the perfect fixture to do so.
I think Kerkez is going to prove himself in this game, and I think if Ekitike starts, he will. I think Isak could. I'm more worried about... I don't know if this is going to be a great game for Wirtz if you play a more defensive system, but this is the sort of game where he should be proving himself. I do agree. I don't think Frimpong is either, to be honest, because I don't think Frimpong's going to start. Like, do you think, like, realistically, it's most likely going to be Bradley or maybe Szoboszlai there?
I would go one of those two over Frimpong just for more defensive solidity. Yeah. But I feel with Kerkez going to this game, you've got most likely Mbumo and Ahmed attacking either side of him into those channels. So defensively, he will need to be all 100% there.
Yeah, he's not been great in the usual game, but if you look at the derby against Everton, I thought he was absolutely superb, one of our best players. And the Arsenal game, that second half, we really needed to play well. After Madueke, let's be honest, was the most dangerous player for Arsenal that game. I thought Kerkez was absolutely brilliant. He dealt with the threat despite Madueke running at him constantly, and I'm hoping he can do a similar job. But I am worried about him being isolated up against Mbeumo and Diallo. I think there's no doubt that's going to be a problem. So let me know your thoughts on this discussion in the comments. What signing do you think is going to impact this game the most? What signing do you think is going to be the best going into the future? What signing do you think has been the best so far and who needs to improve? And any other thoughts on Liverpool signings? If you enjoy this, it would be great if you could subscribe. There's also going to be a full video where I go through the Liverpool Manchester United preview.